Before we cross into the unknown, leave a hello in the comments. Even the smallest signal can ripple across galaxies, guiding fellow wanderers to this tale. Let me know you're out there. A voice among the stars, listening with me beyond the veil. Engines roared as the Odyssey tore through the void, light from distant stars fracturing across the hull. Admiral Reece Talon's fingers tightened around the console, scanning the anomalous readings from the cosmic microwave background. Cracks, no, fissures, spread like veins across the universe. Radiation signatures spiked, and then, impossibly, human DNA sequences appeared in the data feed. A chill ran down Talon's spine. This is our doing, he muttered. The crew exchanged anxious glances. Reality itself seemed to shiver. Every system on the ship hummed with urgent energy, anticipating the unknown. The rift pulsed before them, a gaping wound in the fabric of existence. Talon's mind raced. Their first FTL jump had left scars, and now the universe demanded reckoning. "Prepare the observation arrays," he barked, voice steady but tense. Sensors flared to life, capturing spectral echoes of human DNA entangled in cosmic radiation. A young ensign whispered, "Sir, it's calling us." Talon swallowed hard. The Odyssey was no longer exploring. It was confronting the consequences of humanity's audacity. Every fiber of the ship vibrated with anticipation or terror. Radiation readings warped, projecting ghostly echoes of human faces across the holoscreens. Scientists aboard whispered theories of quantum resonance and temporal contamination. Talon traced one signal, the image of a child, smiling yet terrified, suspended in luminous fractures. "These aren't just remnants," he said quietly. "They're warnings." The crew adjusted shields as waves of energy licked the ship's hull, a reminder that reality itself resisted their presence. Each pulse seemed synchronized to their heartbeat, forcing every officer to confront a question. How do you fight the universe when it remembers you too well? Dr. Ilara Quinn approached, her voice trembling with both excitement and fear. "These DNA patterns, they're alive, and they're reaching out." Talon nodded, gripping the railing. "Then we answer." The Odyssey altered course, threading toward the largest rift detected. Outside the viewport, cosmic colors bent unnaturally, as if the universe was bleeding its own light. Talon's mind flickered to the first FTL jump. The instant humanity's arrogance wounded the cosmos. "We're not just observers," he murmured. "We're the remedy or the disease." Every crew member felt it. The mission was no longer survival. It was redemption. Alarms blared as the rift emitted pulses of unknown energy, scrambling communications. Talon's hand hovered over the override. "Status report," he demanded. Lieutenants shouted conflicting updates. Sensors registered simultaneous collapses across multiple sectors of the universe. A junior officer's face went pale as he pointed to a new crack forming inside the ship's gravitic field. "It's inside us." Talon's jaw tightened. This was no ordinary mission. Every system became a battlefield, every decision a gamble with reality. Talon moved through the command deck, issuing orders with precision. Dr. Quinn's hands danced across her console, attempting to map the rift's structure. "We can stabilize sections," she said, "but the fractures propagate unpredictably." Talon's eyes met each officer in turn. "Then we do what no human has ever done. We engage consciously, mind and machine." The crew stiffened. The Admiral's voice held the authority of necessity. Outside, the void shimmered like molten glass, reflecting the enormity of the challenge, to heal a wound not of flesh, but of reality itself. A pulse emanated from the rift, vibrating through the ship like a heartbeat. Talon felt it in his chest, a resonance that matched his own neural frequency. Crew members staggered, clutching their heads as voices not their own whispered secrets and coordinates. Dr. Quinn's eyes widened. "They're speaking to us, through our minds. Talon exhaled, steadying himself. Then we listen, we map the signal. That's our path forward. Every sensor, every instrument became an extension of human consciousness reaching into the cosmic wound. The rift shifted, a kaleidoscope of impossible geometries. Talon guided the Odyssey into orbit around its epicenter. Holographic overlays depicted spirals of energy, each pulse carrying the DNA echoes of humanity's past. "We left scars," Talon admitted, his voice carrying across the comms, "and now we bear responsibility." The crew synchronized their neural interfaces, linking mind to machine, heart to star. The first tentative merges flickered across the network, showing glimpses of other realities stitched into the cosmos. Outside, the universe waited, patient yet unforgiving. Neural interfaces hummed, projecting Talon's awareness into the rift's energy lattice. Colors exploded across his vision, memories of humanity, flashes of galaxies, and the fragile lines connecting them. The crew followed, each mind entwined with cosmic threads. Talon felt time dilate, centuries and seconds blended. The rift's edges throbbed, responding to thought and emotion. He realized with both awe and terror. Healing this wound required surrendering control, letting consciousness flow where no human had ever tread. "Focus on intent, not fear," Talon whispered, guiding the crew through the psychic maelstrom. The rift pulsed in harmony with their combined will, slowly knitting itself together like a living tapestry. Radiation subsided, leaving behind a faint shimmer of starlight and memory. Talon's vision returned to the ship's deck. The universe seemed quieter, more coherent, yet forever altered. Dr. Quinn exhaled, eyes glistening. "We've touched something. Eternal." Talon nodded, aware that this was just the beginning. Humanity had left its mark, and now bore the responsibility of guarding it. The Odyssey hovered at the rift's threshold, sensors straining against the strange geometry. Talon's jaw tightened. Every reading contradicted itself. Quantum echoes twisted around them, reflecting impossible pasts and potential futures. Crew members murmured, voices tinged with awe and dread. "We're standing at the fracture's edge," Talon announced, "and it's watching." Holographic projections depicted ripples of light bending toward them like fingers, each pulse threatening to tear reality apart. The Admiral's hand hovered over the neural interface. One wrong thought could accelerate the decay. Dr. Quinn's console flared with new anomalies. "The rift adapts to consciousness," she warned. Talon nodded grimly. "Then we become the constant." Minds linked, thoughts synchronized. The Odyssey shivered under psychic resonance, hull plating glowing as though alive. Talon sensed humanity's collective memory washing across the void, shaping the fracture in real time. Outside, the rift's edges flickered between formation and chaos, teasing the crew with glimpses of galaxies that never existed. The line between observer and participant blurred. One misstep could make them the architects of the next catastrophe. A fragment of light detached from the rift, coalescing into a human form. Talon froze. The apparition mirrored his late mentor, Admiral Kessler. "Reece," the figure whispered, voice threaded through time and memory. Crew members gasped. Holographic displays struggled to process the image. Talon's grip tightened on the console. "It's not real, and yet it is," he muttered. The rift was dredging memory, pulling echoes from humanity's past into its lattice. Every decision, every emotion left a residue. To navigate it, the crew had to confront what they'd lost and what they feared. Dr. Quinn pointed to a cascade of spectral faces streaming along the rift. Each represents a human imprint, a shard of DNA, a moment left behind. Talon's mind reeled. "Then our task is to mend the present without erasing the past." The Odyssey moved slowly, guided by intuition and psychic resonance. Talon's consciousness brushed against fragments of history, First FTL experiments, vanished crews, and the spark of human ambition. The rift pulsed, a heartbeat in harmony with their own, urging them onward. Every memory they confronted brought insight and danger. The rift emitted a resonance unlike anything observed before, a vibration that intertwined with the ship's own frequency. Talon felt his thoughts overlap with distant consciousnesses, long-dead scientists, explorers lost in hyperspace, even strangers from other dimensions. "We're tuning ourselves to the universe," he realized. Crew members struggled to maintain control. Synaptic overload threatened to fracture minds. "Hold the link," Talon barked. "Every thread counts." Hull sensors flared with energy, recording the merge as a symphony of neural and cosmic signals. The Odyssey became less a vessel and more an extension of the rift itself. A sudden surge rocked the ship. The rift's edges rippled violently, exposing a void where laws of physics no longer applied. Talon's mind surged with instinctual calculations, directing crew movements. "Stabilize the link," he shouted. Neural interfaces flared, forcing every officer to surrender fear and channel pure intent. Slowly, the rift stilled, humming with the harmonics of human consciousness. Talon exhaled. The fracture had responded, but only temporarily. The crew had learned their power, yet the rift's depth hinted at challenges far greater than any first encounter. Suddenly, a shockwave of energy pulsed from the rift, tearing through the Odyssey. Talon's stomach lurched as alarms screamed. Hull plates warped, gravitic fields fluctuated. Crew scrambled to compensate, neural interfaces sparking with overload. "We've triggered a breach," Dr. Quinn shouted, eyes wide. Talon's heart pounded. This was the universe's warning, a reminder that even collective consciousness had limits. The rift rippled, a living scar of humanity's hubris, and the Odyssey teetered on the edge of oblivion. Talon made a decision. "Link fully," he commanded. Crew members hesitated but obeyed. Minds merged, syncing thought with thought and emotion with emotion. The rift reacted instantly, pulling them deeper into a lattice of light and memory. Talon glimpsed future possibilities and past regrets, all woven into the cosmic fracture. He understood the magnitude of their mission: repair the wound or witness total unraveling. Outside, the rift's light expanded, revealing structures that defied comprehension. Humanity was no longer just exploring. It was negotiating with existence itself. With neural interfaces fully engaged, the Odyssey moved as if alive, responding to thought rather than commands. Talon's consciousness stretched across the ship, touching every officer, every system, and even the rift itself. The crew's collective memory flowed into the fracture, guiding it, coaxing it, pleading with it. Outside, stars shimmered in new patterns, rearranging themselves under human influence. Talon realized this was no longer a mission. It was an act of creation, a battle fought in mind and spirit rather than bullets or engines. Dr. Quinn's voice echoed in Talon's head. "It's adapting. It's listening." Energy flows reconfigured, stitching the rift's edges together. The Odyssey became a bridge between human intent and universal order. Talon felt a surge of emotion, pride, fear, awe, interlaced with responsibility. They were not just observers or explorers. They were the conscious armada of humanity, tasked with safeguarding reality itself. The rift pulsed once more, then stabilized. For now, existence held. But Talon knew this was only the beginning of a far greater struggle. The Odyssey drifted through the stitched rift, yet anomalies persisted. Shadows flickered along the edges, spectral shapes that mimicked crew members. Talon's eyes narrowed. "It's learning us," he muttered. Dr. Quinn adjusted her sensors. The apparitions responded, dissolving and reforming in tandem with their actions. Every step forward demanded intuition and nerve. One miscalculation, one hesitation, and the rift could unravel again. Talon's hand hovered over the neural override. The universe was alive, aware, and cautiously observing their every move. Crew members whispered about whispers, voices that weren't human, echoing from fractured dimensions. Talon connected via the ship's neural network, sensing the patterns. "We don't just navigate the rift," he said quietly, "we negotiate with it." Each mind became a translator, decoding the fractured echoes of existence. Outside, cosmic colors shimmered in impossible symmetries, teasing structures that defied geometry. Talon realized the rift wasn't just damaged reality. It was a library of all human potential, waiting to be understood or destroyed. Suddenly, a pulse emanated from deep within the rift, unlike any previously recorded. Talon felt it like a shockwave through his mind, carrying a message of unmistakable clarity, coordinates pointing far beyond known space. "It's guiding us," he said, voice taut with disbelief. Dr. Quinn's hands flew across the console. "Destination unknown. Probability of survival is minimal." Talon's gaze hardened. Humanity's first FTL jump had wounded the universe, but now it was offering a path to redemption or doom. The Odyssey shifted course, engines glowing as they entered uncharted territory. Time felt elastic. Moments stretched into infinity as the ship threaded through the rift's labyrinth. Talon sensed fragments of distant civilizations, echoes of alien minds reacting to humanity's presence. "We are not alone," he admitted, voice barely above a whisper. Crew neural links pulsed in unison, decoding not just the signal, but the intent behind it. Every light, every shadow seemed purposeful, directing them toward something monumental. The universe itself had begun to speak. New rifts appeared in the void, each pulsing with unknown energy. Talon ordered a scan. Fleet simulations projected multiple breaches forming simultaneously, potentially catastrophic. If these expand, Talon warned, they could consume star systems. Crew members synchronized neural links, projecting defensive patterns into the void, attempting to stabilize the fractures remotely. The Odyssey became a conduit of collective thought, a living shield against entropy. Talon realized the rift's influence was contagious. Every unhealed fracture risked chain reactions across the galaxy. Dr. Quinn identified a repeating pattern within the fractures, an underlying resonance of intelligence. "It's as if the rifts are coordinating," she said, voice tight with concern. Talon's mind raced. "Then we need to anticipate, not just react." Neural networks across the crew expanded, weaving predictive matrices into the rift's structure. Outside, fractures responded, stabilizing temporarily, yet hints of something larger lurked within their shadows. Talon gritted his teeth. The rift had become more than a wound. It was an active participant, testing humanity's resolve at every turn. Images surged across Talon's neural interface. The first FTL jump, the crew celebrating, and the instant the universe shivered in pain. The memory burned in vivid detail, reminding him of human ambition and error. "We scarred reality," he whispered, gripping the console. Dr. Quinn joined him mentally, projecting analysis. "And the universe remembers." The Odyssey trembled as residual energy from past jumps resonated with the rift. Talon knew that understanding the past was the only way to prevent the present from collapsing into chaos. Fragments of ancient signals revealed traces of human DNA embedded in cosmic radiation for centuries. The rift pulsed with recognition, responding to these echoes as if judging them. Talon felt an impossible connection to every explorer who had ever crossed the stars. "We are both consequence and cure," he told the crew. Linking their minds further, they traced the fissure's origin, discovering patterns tied directly to their own history. The rift was teaching them, testing them, demanding that humanity reconcile with the repercussions of its first leap into the cosmos. The crew's neural links deepened, merging thoughts, memories, and intuition into a single consciousness. Talon guided the Odyssey with an almost prophetic clarity, anticipating rift behavior before it manifested. Colors, vibrations, and impossible geometries danced through their minds, each pulse a reminder that they were now part of something far larger than themselves. "We are no longer just humans," Talon said, voice echoing in the collective mind. "We are the bridge between the universe and its wounds." Every officer felt both fear and exhilaration. Reality itself was malleable in their hands. A new energy surge washed over the rift, stronger and more unpredictable than anything before. Talon instinctively projected calming intent into the lattice of fractures, guiding the cosmic currents like a conductor. The crew's collective consciousness resonated in perfect harmony, stabilizing the most volatile regions. The rift shimmered, folding in on itself, and for the first time, it seemed to pulse in gratitude rather than hostility. Talon exhaled, realizing the scale of their achievement. Humanity had learned to converse with the universe, but deeper trials awaited, waiting beyond the next fracture. The Odyssey approached a rift larger than any before, its edges thrumming with violent energy. Talon's mind raced, scanning predictive simulations. "This one isn't just unstable," he said, voice tight. "It's evolving." Crew members linked their neural interfaces, sending synchronized intent into the void. Hull plating quivered as unseen forces probed their systems, testing the limits of human resolve. Every pulse from the rift carried the echo of worlds lost and possibilities erased. Dr. Quinn's console displayed chaotic patterns, fractures forming within fractures, recursive loops threatening to collapse their navigation algorithms. "It's self-reinforcing," she said, her voice taut. Talon clenched his fists. "Then we must be smarter than the universe itself." Neural links flared with energy as the crew projected stabilizing patterns, guiding the rift's growth. Outside, cosmic light twisted in impossible geometries, a dance of creation and destruction. For the first time, Talon felt the universe pushing back, not just reacting, but challenging them. A wave of energy surged from the rift, coalescing into ghostly forms of long-dead explorers. They moved silently, their eyes empty yet accusing. Talon's chest tightened. "They're echoes of every human who ventured too far," he said. Crew members recoiled, unsure if they were visions or threats. Dr. Quinn adjusted the neural network, stabilizing the links. "We must communicate," she said. "They're part of the lattice." The Odyssey trembled under the psychic resonance, every system alive with the whispers of humanity's past. The ghostly figures began to mirror the crew's movements, synchronizing with their intent. Talon reached out mentally, projecting calm and purpose. Slowly, recognition replaced hostility. "We are here to heal," he sent through the link. The apparitions shimmered, dissolving into light that fused with the rift's edges. Crew members exhaled in relief, understanding that the universe remembered and demanded reconciliation. Talon realized that every memory, every human imprint was a key to stabilizing reality itself. Dr. Quinn's instruments detected a concentrated energy pulse at the rift's heart, radiating patterns of DNA entwined with raw cosmic power. Talon leaned over the console, eyes narrowing. "That's the core," he said. "If we can reach it, we can heal the rift from within." Neural interfaces hummed as the crew prepared for the most dangerous synchronization yet. The Odyssey began its descent toward the pulsating heart, hull shields shimmering under the immense forces. Every officer felt the weight of potential annihilation. As they approached, the core emitted a harmonic resonance, drawing fragments of consciousness from each crew member. Talon's mind intertwined with the collective will, projecting stability and intent. Cosmic radiation flowed through the ship like liquid thought, reshaping the rift's lattice in real time. Dr. Quinn's voice cut through the psychic feedback. "We're part of it now, inseparable from the wound." Talon nodded, understanding the magnitude. They weren't just observers, they were becoming the repair mechanism, the bridge between humanity and existence itself. The rift pulsed violently, as though resisting the crew's intervention. Stars outside bent and shimmered, fracturing light across impossible angles. Talon's consciousness stretched into the lattice, coordinating with the neural network of every officer. "Do not falter," he projected. "Our minds must be steady." Each pulse carried fragments of alien consciousness, unseen observers testing humanity's worth. Crew hearts synchronized, forming a harmonic resonance that matched the rift's own heartbeat. The Odyssey vibrated with the intensity of the encounter. Dr. Quinn identified feedback loops threatening to destabilize the core. "It's adaptive," she warned. "Every attempt alters it, and it adapts instantly." Talon's hands hovered over controls, but his mind led the effort, projecting intent directly into the lattice. Slowly, the rift responded to human consciousness, bending to their will without breaking. Light flowed through the fractures like liquid glass, stabilizing yet glowing with untapped potential. Talon realized they were entering uncharted territory. Humanity wasn't just surviving, it was shaping the rules of existence. The Odyssey reached the rift's innermost edge, where energy swirled in chaotic spirals. Talon felt the weight of centuries in every pulse, every photon. "This is it," he said, eyes scanning the core signal. Crew members braced, neural interfaces thrumming with amplified connection. The rift's energy probed them, testing resolve, intent, and unity. One misstep, one flicker of doubt, and the fracture could explode into oblivion, consuming entire star systems. Talon extended his consciousness fully, merging thought, memory, and will with the crew and the rift itself. Colors and patterns danced in harmony, reality bending and stitching as human intent guided it. The core stabilized, pulsing in sync with the crew's collective heartbeat. Dr. Quinn whispered, "We've crossed the threshold, but the rift still watches." Talon exhaled, eyes narrowing with determination. Humanity had healed one wound, but far greater challenges waited in the infinite tapestry beyond, testing courage, ingenuity, and the very essence of existence. The Odyssey drifted through the stabilized rift, but anomalies persisted. Talon noticed patterns forming, geometries too precise to be random. "These aren't natural," he muttered. Dr. Quinn analyzed the data. Intelligent design, beyond human understanding. Shadows of alien architects flickered in and out of perception, unseen yet omnipresent. Crew neural links strained to interpret the signals, each officer feeling the subtle manipulation of thought and light. Humanity had stitched part of the rift, but the universe itself seemed to be responding. Talon's consciousness brushed against a fragment of alien memory. Civilizations older than humanity, wielding rifts like instruments. "They are testing us," he projected to the crew. Holographic readouts pulsed, showing the rift reacting to every human action. The Odyssey was no longer exploring. It was in dialogue with cosmic intelligence. Every neural thread pulsed with awareness, translating alien intent into patterns the crew could influence. Talon realized that survival meant more than repair. It meant proving humanity's worth in the grand tapestry of existence. Energy flares erupted along the rift's edges, destabilizing regions they had just repaired. Talon barked orders, neural links pulsing with urgency. "We can't hold this forever," crew members responded instantly, projecting counter-resonances into the fractures. The Odyssey became a psychic anchor, tethering the rift to human intent. Outside, cosmic radiation twisted into violent patterns, threatening to consume nearby star systems. Each pulse felt like a warning. The universe tolerated no weakness. Dr. Quinn's eyes widened as anomalous readings spiked. "We're not just stabilizing, we're provoking a reaction." Talon clenched his jaw. "Then we escalate, we match intelligence with strategy." Minds intertwined, projecting not just stability, but anticipation of the rift's moves. Light bent and flowed like liquid crystal, reshaping the environment with each human thought. Talon understood. They were no longer patching fractures. They were negotiating existence itself, balancing action and restraint in a cosmic chess match with stakes beyond comprehension. A ripple detached from the rift, coalescing into a form of pure energy, intelligent and hostile. Talon froze. "It's testing our limits," he whispered. The crew scrambled, neural networks flaring as the entity probed their minds. Shields hummed, engines pulsed, but the being was not bound by matter. It mirrored their fears, exploiting weaknesses in thought and memory. Talon projected calm, every neuron focused on coordination. The Odyssey became a singular entity, mind and machine unified against a consciousness beyond comprehension. Dr. Quinn traced the adversary's movements within the rift lattice. "It adapts instantly," she said. "Predictive modeling fails." Talon's lips tightened. "Then we improvise." Collective intent surged, guiding the Odyssey in fluid patterns that defied conventional physics. Energy arcs danced across the hull as thought became action, emotion sculpted the battlefield, and human consciousness bent the rift itself to defense. For the first time, the crew realized the enormity of their struggle. Survival demanded merging fully with the universe, heart, mind, and soul. The energy adversary retaliated, forming illusions of the crew's own doubts and regrets. Talon struggled to maintain clarity. "Do not trust what you see," he projected. Officers wavered, some recoiling from apparitions of failures long past. Neural links flared with tension, projecting stability into fracturing minds. Dr. Quinn's console vibrated with impossible signals, hinting that the rift itself was semi-sentient, capable of deception. Talon realized they were fighting both the entity and the rift's own judgment. Desperate improvisation guided their next moves. Talon projected a composite of human resolve and intuition, anchoring the crew's consciousness. Shadows dissolved under the unified psychic pressure, revealing the adversary's true form, a swirling lattice of raw energy, testing humanity's will. Outside, stars refracted through the rift in kaleidoscopic patterns, mirroring the battle of mind against mind. Talon understood the critical truth. Survival required complete unity, a harmony of purpose powerful enough to bend the rift without breaking themselves. Talon ordered full neural integration. Every officer linked directly into the ship's systems and the rift lattice. "We become one with it," he projected. Energy surged, thoughts and will merging into a single conscious effort. The adversary rippled with confusion. It had never encountered collective intent fused so completely. The Odyssey glowed with human cognition, navigating the lattice with unprecedented precision. Every heartbeat and breath of the crew resonated through the rift. Dr. Quinn whispered through the psychic link, "It's responding to understanding, not fear." Light and energy coalesced into harmonics of stability. The adversary hesitated, pulsing with awareness, then receded into the rift's depths. Talon exhaled, sensing temporary calm. Yet the universe remained vigilant, its challenges only beginning to unfold. Humanity had won a moment of reprieve. But beyond the next fracture, the unknown waited, testing courage, ingenuity, and the limits of consciousness itself. The Odyssey drifted into a region of the rift previously uncharted, where energy pulsed with an almost sentient rhythm. Talon's mind stretched across the lattice, sensing resonances of galaxies not yet born. "It's alive," he whispered. Crew neural links flared, amplifying thought into influence. Each pulse responded to intent, forming ripples that stabilized the surrounding fractures. Yet the deeper they went, the more unpredictable the rift became, as if testing every choice, every instinct, every hesitation. Dr. Quinn's analysis revealed structures within the rift. intricate, fractal-like networks of energy that pulsed with hidden logic. "These aren't anomalies, they're pathways," she said, eyes wide. Talon nodded. "Then we navigate with the mind, not the engines." The Odyssey glided along the lattice, guided by collective intent. Outside, light bent and fractured into impossible angles, painting the void with surreal brilliance. Humanity was no longer merely repairing reality. They were threading through it, negotiating with the universe's own intelligence. A sudden pulse coursed through the lattice, projecting visions of potential futures into Talon's mind. Shattered stars, lost colonies, and fleets reduced to dust. "It's showing us consequences," he whispered. Crew members staggered, overwhelmed by glimpses of possibilities. Dr. Quinn linked their consciousness, filtering the deluge into manageable patterns. "We can learn from them. Anticipate," she said. The Rift's language was now comprehension, a dialogue of consequence and choice. Talon guided the Odyssey through the visions, threading the ship along paths of least disruption. Every decision altered the lattice, folding potential outcomes into stability. The crew's collective mind became a predictive engine, projecting human foresight into cosmic structure. The Rift pulsed in approval, responding to coordinated intent. Talon realized that survival required not just action, but understanding. The universe was teaching them, revealing that the power to shape reality came with a responsibility heavier than any starship could bear. From the core of the Rift, a new presence emerged, alien, intelligent, and aware. Its form flickered between dimensions, impossible to track visually. Talon's neural link buzzed with alien thought patterns, probing, testing. "They know we're here," he projected to the crew. Dr. Quinn's sensors went haywire. "It's not hostile, but it's cautious, observing." Every officer felt a cold awareness in their minds, a presence older than humanity, watching, calculating. The universe had sent an envoy. Talon reached out mentally, projecting calm, curiosity, and purpose. Slowly, the entity mirrored their intent, its form stabilizing into discernible structure. Communication unfolded not with words, but with resonance. Thought, memory, and emotion exchanged across consciousness. Crew members marveled. The Rift's heart had become a meeting point, a bridge between human ingenuity and alien comprehension. Talon realized the enormity. Humanity was no longer alone, and the Rift had become a nexus of contact with intelligence far beyond their comprehension. The Odyssey and its crew synchronized fully with the alien presence, projecting intent and absorbing responses through the lattice. Talon felt unity unlike anything before. Human and alien consciousness intertwined with the Rift's energy, creating a harmonic network. "This is symbiosis," he projected. Dr. Quinn's console displayed spiraling harmonics that matched the core's vibrations. Stability increased, but new fractures whispered in warning. The Rift's energy was finite, and missteps could still trigger collapse. Outside, light flowed like liquid through cosmic tunnels, folding realities over one another. Talon guided the crew through the lattice, anticipating each pulse, each resonance. The alien presence mirrored their motions, offering insight, testing limits, and revealing subtle flaws in human perception. The Odyssey was no longer merely surviving. It was an instrument of restoration, weaving consciousness into the universe itself. Talon understood. The Rift could now be healed, but only if humanity maintained perfect coordination and intent. A sudden surge from a distant fracture shook the Odyssey, revealing a second rift forming in tandem with the core. Talon's mind raced. "They're connected," he projected. Dr. Quinn confirmed. "Stabilizing one while the other grows is impossible without full integration." Neural links deepened, merging thoughts, instincts, and emotions into a unified consciousness. The crew's collective intent surged through the lattice, stabilizing both rifts simultaneously, a feat of mind and will beyond human precedent. The alien presence pulsed in approval, guiding subtle harmonics to prevent collapse. Light flowed like rivers of thought, folding the fractures into stability. Talon exhaled, though his chest remained tense. The first major trial was complete. 2 rifts balanced in harmony, a temporary victory for human ingenuity and unity. Yet the universe still held greater threats, hidden deeper within the cosmic fabric. Talon knew that the next challenge would test the limits of mind, technology, and courage, and the consequences of failure would be total. The Odyssey hummed with psychic resonance as ripples from stabilized rifts radiated outward. Talon's mind probed the lattice, sensing echoes of distant fractures forming in systems they had yet to explore. "The universe is still reacting," he projected to the crew. Dr. Quinn adjusted the neural interface, tracing the echoes. Some are residual, some are new disturbances. Every pulse carried danger, warning, and opportunity. Humanity's first victories had not gone unnoticed. The rift lattice shimmered with spectral projections of star systems at risk. Talon coordinated the crew's intent, threading energy along fragile filaments to prevent cascading collapse. Outside, distant stars flared with cosmic radiation as if protesting their presence. Talon whispered, "We stabilize, we observe, we anticipate." The Odyssey became a living bridge between chaos and order, mapping the unseen patterns of universal response. Each decision, each thought held the weight of countless worlds. A pulse unlike any before struck the Odyssey, sending ripples of psychic energy through the crew. Talon felt it. A consciousness vast, intelligent, and aggressive. "It's testing our limits," he projected. Dr. Quinn's sensors identified shifting energy signatures across multiple rifts. They're linked, coordinated, possibly hostile. Crew members instinctively braced, neural links tightening as protective intent merged with analysis. The Odyssey's hull hummed in synchronization with their collective focus, a fragile anchor in the storm. The entity pulsed again, probing for weakness. Talon extended mind and will, projecting stability, confidence, and clarity. The lattice responded, but tension rippled outward, threatening distant rifts. Crew members felt doubt creep in, memories of past mistakes, fears of failure. But Talon's guidance anchored them. "We hold together," he projected, voice resonating in the psychic network. The universe watched, testing humanity's ability to unite and adapt, as if evaluating worthiness for the next, far greater confrontation. Spectral forms emerged from distant rifts. Ships and entities composed of pure energy, remnants of civilizations lost to cosmic fractures. Talon's jaw tightened. "They're the casualties, or the sentinels," he projected. Dr. Quinn's analysis confirmed. These forms mirrored their own fleet, echoing human intent from alternate outcomes. Neural links flared as the crew absorbed fragments of experience, each revelation sharpening understanding but straining cognition. The Odyssey was no longer alone. It was entering a battlefield of thought, memory, and energy. Talon coordinated maneuvers with psychic precision. Shadows mirrored the fleet's actions, sometimes in harmony, sometimes in opposition, testing every instinct. Outside, cosmic light fractured and folded as the lattice responded to both the living and spectral forces. Crew minds intertwined, projecting defense and strategy directly into the rift's fabric. Talon realized that survival required merging not just with the rift, but with its echoes, the remnants of countless civilizations whose legacies now demanded reckoning. The Odyssey approached the primary rift core, now pulsating with unprecedented energy. Talon's mind expanded into the lattice, sensing layers of history, intelligence, and intent folded within. "All paths converge here," he projected. Dr. Quinn's console blazed with harmonic analysis. "It's the nexus, the center of all rift activity." crew neural links synchronized, projecting stabilizing patterns into the core, threading collective will into the heart of universal turbulence. Every decision amplified the resonance. Energy arcs lanced across the rift, responding to human and alien consciousness alike. Talon projected intent with surgical precision, guiding the Odyssey through corridors of impossible geometry. Outside, stars bent, twisted, and shimmered as if acknowledging human intervention. The crew felt both exhilaration and terror. The universe's heartbeat pulsed through their minds, reminding them that they were now participants, architects, and defenders of existence itself. One misstep could unravel everything they had fought to protect. Suddenly, the hostile consciousness from Chapter 32 surged, converging on the Odyssey. Energy waves lashed against the ship's hull, fracturing perception and testing neural endurance. Talon projected calm, guiding crew intent into harmonics designed to counter aggression. Dr. Quinn's hands flew over the console, directing stabilizing flows into the rift lattice. The Odyssey pulsed with human will, standing against a force older, faster, and more intelligent than anything they had encountered. Outside, stars bent and fractured under psychic influence, light splintering across multiple dimensions. Talon extended mind and will fully into the lattice, merging consciousness with the crew and the rift itself. The hostile entity recoiled, destabilized by unified intent, but its presence remained, a reminder that the universe was testing humanity's limits. Talon knew the battle was far from over. This first assault had only revealed the scale of the challenge ahead. Humanity would have to fight not with weapons, but with mind, memory, and unbroken will. A surge of energy exploded from the rift, sending shockwaves through the Odyssey. Talon's neural interface flared as the crew struggled to maintain cohesion. "Brace for destabilization," he projected. The ship's hull vibrated under psychic resonance, systems flickering as reality itself seemed to warp. Crew members gritted their teeth, projecting stability while battling intrusive visions of fractured galaxies and lost worlds. Every heartbeat felt synchronized with the rift's chaotic pulse. Dr. Quinn's console blazed with a warning. Secondary fractures were forming at alarming rates. If these merge, entire systems could collapse. Talon's eyes narrowed. Then we act faster than the universe reacts. Neural links pulsed, minds intertwining, projecting stabilizing harmonics into the lattice. Light outside bent into impossible angles, responding to the collective will. Talon realized that the rift was alive, testing their limits, demanding both precision and courage. Humanity's survival hinged on its ability to anticipate, adapt, and act as one. The hostile entity from before split into multiple forms, each testing a different aspect of human perception and resolve. Talon projected focus, guiding crew intent into synchronized patterns. Shadows mirrored fears, regrets, and doubts, twisting into illusions of failure. "Do not yield to what is not real," he projected. Officers felt the psychic weight pressing in from all sides, struggling to maintain clarity. The Odyssey trembled, hull and neural links pulsing in response. Dr. Quinn identified weak points in the lattice where shadows could be anchored. "We can turn their attacks against them," she suggested. Talon nodded, projecting intent to redirect energy flows. Light bent and fractured into intricate geometries, trapping the shadow forms in resonant loops. The rift pulsed, reacting to the combined force of human thought and will. Talon understood. Victory in this battle required complete unity, blending intellect, emotion, and instinct into a singular psychic force. The Odyssey's trajectory brought it to the deepest part of the rift, a nexus where multiple fractures converged. Talon felt the weight of countless civilizations pressing through the lattice. "This is the heart," he projected. Neural links expanded, crew consciousness merging fully with the ship and the surrounding lattice. Time stretched, and Talon glimpsed alternate outcomes, entire timelines, and the consequences of every choice humanity had ever made. Each mind had to remain focused or risk unraveling the fragile nexus. Dr. Quinn's hands danced over the controls, weaving predictive harmonics into the lattice. "It's responding," she whispered. Talon projected coordinated intent, threading stability through the converging rifts. The nexus shimmered, folding and unfolding like living geometry, reacting to every thought, every emotion. Outside, cosmic light formed spiraling bridges, connecting fractured regions. Talon understood the truth. The rift was a reflection of consciousness itself. To heal it, they had to merge fully, becoming an extension of the universe. Energy surged violently, splitting into multiple tendrils aimed at the Odyssey. Talon projected calm, guiding the crew in synchronized defense. Each tendril tested a different aspect of their minds: fear, hope, regret, ambition. The neural network pulsed in unison, weaving psychic shields into the lattice. The ship shuddered as light fractured across dimensions. Talon knew the universe was not just observing. They were evaluating humanity's capacity for unity and resilience. Dr. Quinn adjusted harmonics, threading predictive patterns into the rift's energy flows. Shadows and hostile entities recoiled, destabilized by the combined force of human thought. Talon projected clarity, projecting intent directly into the lattice, shaping energy and light with conscious precision. The Odyssey became both sword and shield, mind and machine. Victory was temporary, but the first reckoning had revealed humanity's potential, the ability to survive, adapt, and influence reality itself through unity of purpose and thought. The rift pulsed gently, a stark contrast to the violent chaos of the previous assault. Talon exhaled, sensing the temporary calm. Neural links hummed with residual energy, crew members sharing relief, exhaustion, and awe. "We've held," he projected. Dr. Quinn's console displayed harmonics of unprecedented stability, yet subtle anomalies hinted at new challenges ahead. "This is just the beginning," she warned. Talon nodded, eyes narrowing with determination. Humanity had survived the first trial, but the rift still held secrets beyond comprehension. Outside, stars shimmered through the lattice, light bending in acknowledgement of their effort. Talon projected a thought to the crew: "We endure, we adapt, we heal, and we will continue." The Odyssey floated at the nexus, a fragile anchor against cosmic chaos, but alive with human will. For the first time, the crew glimpsed the potential of unity, psychic mastery, and the responsibility they bore, to protect not just humanity, but the very fabric of existence. Yet beyond the calm, the universe waited, patient and unforgiving. The Odyssey floated in the calm after the first assault, yet Talon sensed tension rippling through the lattice. Neural links hummed softly, crew members resting while maintaining psychic vigilance. This quiet. "It's deceptive," he projected. Dr. Quinn monitored fluctuations in the rift. Residual energy patterns are consolidating. Something is forming. The ship's hull vibrated subtly, a reminder that the universe never truly sleeps. Talon's mind probed deeper into the rift lattice, feeling threads of intelligence weaving unseen networks. Spectral echoes of civilizations long vanished shimmered faintly, observing their efforts. "They're watching us," Talon whispered. Neural links projected awareness, mapping each subtle ripple, predicting responses. The crew understood that even in silence, the universe was alive and conscious, and their survival depended on vigilance, insight, and the unity of thought across every mind aboard the Odyssey. Sudden surges of energy erupted from distant rifts, cascading toward the Odyssey. Talon's neural link flared, projecting command across the crew. "Brace for destabilization. We've stirred something greater." Dr. Quinn's console lit up with anomalous readings, multiple rifts exhibiting coordinated behavior. The universe itself seemed to signal a warning and challenge simultaneously. Crew minds synchronized, weaving stabilizing harmonics across psychic and technological networks. Outside, light splintered through multiple dimensions, forming jagged patterns that defied geometry. Talon projected clarity, threading intention into each ripple. Shadows moved across the rift lattice, testing every layer of human perception. The crew felt doubt, fear, and memory intrude, but Talon's focus anchored them. "We survive because we are unified," he projected. The Odyssey became more than a vessel. It was a living instrument of human resilience, psychic mastery, and a bridge to stabilize the universe. The rift core pulsed with unprecedented energy, extending threads into multiple fractures across the galaxy. Talon realized the scope. The challenge was no longer local. It was universal. Neural links expanded, crew consciousness blending fully with the ship and the lattice. "We must manage the Nexus, or it will unravel entirely," he projected. Dr. Quinn analyzed patterns, calculating harmonic sequences to thread stability through multiple points simultaneously. Light and energy flowed like rivers through the rift lattice, folding realities over one another. Talon guided thought and intent with surgical precision, projecting equilibrium across the interconnected fractures. Outside, cosmic structures shimmered and realigned in response. The Odyssey vibrated with the collective consciousness of humanity and alien presences alike. Talon understood the stakes. The universe was testing not only survival, but the ability to shape reality itself, demanding coordination, courage, and foresight at scales beyond comprehension. A sudden surge of hostile energy erupted from a distant rift, striking with precision. Talon projected calm and resolve into the neural network, anchoring the crew. Shadows of alternate timelines flickered across their consciousness, testing every instinct. "Focus on intent, not fear," he projected. Dr. Quinn adjusted harmonics, threading predictive stabilization patterns into the lattice. The Odyssey shuddered under psychic pressure, yet held firm, a beacon of unity against chaos. The hostile energy recoiled as the crew projected coherent thought and harmonics into the lattice. Light fractured and folded in complex geometries, stabilizing adjacent rifts. Talon projected awareness into every psychic thread, sensing every intention and reaction. The Odyssey became both shield and spear, a conduit for human will across the rift. For the first time, the crew glimpsed their potential. Not just survivors, but active architects of reality, able to negotiate with the universe itself through unity of thought, emotion, and purpose. The rift pulsed, revealing fleeting visions of galaxies untouched, civilizations thriving, or doomed by threads of choice. Talon projected his awareness, guiding the crew to interpret patterns, learning from echoes of consequence. Dr. Quinn whispered, "It's showing us what could be, or what will be." Neural links hummed with effort, translating visions into understanding. Every decision became predictive, every thought shaping stability across multiple layers of reality simultaneously. Outside, stars shimmered in impossible geometries, light bending to human will. Talon projected confidence, anchoring the crew's psychic network into the lattice. The Odyssey became a bridge across time, space, and consciousness. Talon felt the weight of responsibility. Humanity's role extended beyond survival. They were now participants, negotiators, and protectors of existence itself. Yet, beyond the lattice, greater challenges waited, unseen but imminent, testing courage, ingenuity, and the very essence of life, consciousness, and reality. The Odyssey moved deeper into the lattice, threading along energy currents that shimmered like liquid light. Talon projected awareness across the crew, feeling each thought ripple through the rift. "Every choice we make now echoes across existence," he projected. Dr. Quinn traced patterns connecting past FTL jumps to the fractures forming now. Humanity's first leap had wounded the universe, but their actions now could mend, or shatter, it entirely. Shadows of potential futures flickered across the neural network. Worlds thriving, galaxies collapsing, civilizations erased. Talon projected calm and unity, threading intent through the lattice with precision. Crew consciousness intertwined, anticipating rift reactions before they manifested. Light folded around them, guided by thought rather than mechanics. Humanity was no longer merely navigating space, they were shaping it, threading destiny through cosmic seams, every mind a critical stitch in the fabric of reality. A pulse unlike any before emanated from the rift core, resonating directly within Talon's mind. Images of past jumps, failures, and human ambition streamed like lightning. "It remembers," he whispered. Dr. Quinn's interface revealed harmonic echoes of DNA patterns across cosmic radiation, the universe itself acknowledging humanity. Neural links hummed as every crew member felt the weight of history, responsibility, and the potential for redemption. The rift responded to their collective intent, bending energy flows, stabilizing fractures, and opening new pathways. Talon realized the truth. The rift was conscious, a living ledger of existence, reacting not to mere presence, but to awareness, choice, and understanding. The Odyssey became both participant and observer, merging human will with cosmic intelligence. The universe was testing them, and the outcome would echo across every star yet to be born. Neural links reached unprecedented depth. Crew consciousness merged seamlessly with ship systems, alien presence, and the lattice itself. Talon felt their minds stretch across the rift, sensing every subtle shift. "We become one with the universe," he projected. Dr. Quinn synchronized harmonic stabilizers with psychic flows. Every ripple, every pulse was now guided by unified intent. The Odyssey no longer navigated. It wove reality itself into coherent patterns of stability. Outside, energy arcs pulsed in accordance with human thought. Light folded and refolded, responding to intention, emotion, and memory. Talon projected foresight, anticipating fracture patterns and hostile incursions. Shadows recoiled as the lattice recognized the collective will of humanity, alien intelligence, and the ship's systems. Talon realized they were no longer merely repairing the universe. They were conversing with it, shaping its response and proving their capacity to endure, adapt, and influence existence itself. A flash of memory erupted across Talon's mind. The first FTL jump, its exhilaration, and the unintended wound left in the fabric of space. The rift pulsed violently, recalling that moment like an old scar. Talon projected calm into the network. "We caused this, and now we will heal it," he whispered. Dr. Quinn's hands moved with precise speed, threading DNA harmonics into the lattice to stabilize the echoes. The crew felt centuries of human ambition converge into the present moment. Energy rippled outward, responding to human intent with subtle approval. The rift pulsed in recognition, acknowledging responsibility and effort. Shadows of past errors shimmered, then dissolved under harmonics of awareness. Talon understood that the universe measured not just power, but comprehension of consequence, choice, and unity. The Odyssey became the bridge across time and action, human minds threading history, present, and future into a coherent tapestry, capable of restoring balance to fractured space. The core of the rift shimmered with unprecedented clarity, revealing truths previously hidden. The fractures were not just consequences, they were tests. Talon projected awareness, guiding the crew through visions of potential futures and their role in each. "The universe. It judges intent," he whispered. Dr. Quinn's console translated energy patterns into psychic harmonics, showing how human actions could either stabilize or destroy entire systems. Humanity's first FTL jump had been a catalyst, but now they had the knowledge to shape outcomes deliberately. Outside, cosmic light coalesced into spirals and lattices, reflecting understanding and guidance. Talon projected unified thought, anchoring crew consciousness in purpose, clarity, and intent. The Odyssey pulsed as if alive, responding in harmony with the rift's conscious flow. Humanity had glimpsed its true role. Not merely travelers, but stewards, negotiators, and architects of existence. The universe had revealed the first truth. Survival required unity, awareness, and the courage to accept responsibility for every ripple created across the cosmos. The Odyssey drifted closer to the rift's outer edges, sensing coordinated pulses of hostile energy. Talon projected calm across the neural network, anchoring crew focus. "They're testing us again," he whispered. Dr. Quinn's console displayed multiple converging energy streams, each threatening to destabilize the lattice. Crew hearts synchronized, projecting intent into the fractures, threading defensive harmonics across psychic and technological networks. The rift pulsed in response, alive with anticipation. Shadows emerged from distant fractures, spectral echoes of civilizations lost to human error and cosmic upheaval. Talon projected clarity and unity, guiding crew minds to counteract the encroaching threat. Light bent and folded outside, responding to human intent with precision. The Odyssey became a conduit of concentrated will, blending psychic strength with advanced technology. Talon understood the stakes. Any falter, any lapse in coordination, could ignite cascading collapses across the galaxy. The hostile entities surged in coordinated waves, attacking both the Odyssey and surrounding lattice threads. Talon extended consciousness fully, projecting synchronized defense across crew, ship systems, and rift lattice. "We hold together, or we fall alone," he projected. Dr. Quinn's hands danced across controls, weaving predictive harmonics into the lattice to counter adaptive attacks. Every pulse became both shield and countermeasure. Energy arcs rippled violently, colliding with psychic projections of the crew. Shadows of alternate realities attempted to destabilize intent, exploiting fear, regret, and doubt. Talon anchored the network, guiding thought and will with surgical precision. The Odyssey pulsed with human determination, light folding and refolding around them. The battle was no longer physical. It was consciousness against consciousness, intent against intent, a war fought across dimensions and within minds. The rift lattice trembled under the magnitude of conflict, folding stars and light into chaotic geometries. Talon projected foresight, threading stability across multiple fractures simultaneously. Dr. Quinn monitored harmonic feedback, eyes wide. "We're reaching limits of both mind and system," she warned. Crew neural links flared with tension as the lattice tested every ounce of focus, will, and intuition. The universe itself seemed to watch, waiting for humanity to prove worthiness or falter. Outside, energy spirals collided in blinding brilliance, reality bending under the combined force of human and alien consciousness. Talon extended awareness into every shadow and waveform, anticipating attacks, countering intrusions, and projecting unified intent. The Odyssey became a nexus of psychic and technological coordination, every heartbeat resonating through the lattice. Humanity was no longer merely surviving, it was actively negotiating, shaping, and defending the fabric of existence itself. Crew members felt a psychic strain reaching breaking points, memories and emotions bleeding across the network. Talon projected reassurance, weaving intent into every mind. "We endure together," he whispered. Dr. Quinn synchronized stabilizing patterns, threading resilience into neural and lattice systems alike. The Odyssey pulsed under combined consciousness, every crew member becoming an anchor in the storm of cosmic energy. Shadows of lost civilizations flickered through the lattice, offering insight and warning. Talon reached out, projecting understanding and gratitude. Energy pulses responded, stabilizing threads previously threatened by collapse. Sacrifices, past, present, and potential, manifested in psychic resonance, reminding the crew of the cost of failure. Humanity was learning. Survival required not just skill, but humility, awareness, and acceptance of responsibility for the ripple effects of their existence. The Odyssey's position at the Nexus allowed Talon to perceive patterns spanning multiple galaxies. He projected awareness through the neural link, sensing both threats and potential solutions. The universe is testing more than strength. It tests understanding, he whispered. Dr. Quinn traced energy flows, showing how aligned intent could preempt destructive pulses before they manifested. Humanity's role was no longer reactive. It was proactive, shaping the lattice through conscious awareness and unified effort. Cosmic light folded into intricate harmonics, reflecting human and alien consciousness intertwined with the rift's energy. Talon projected clarity, threading intent into every pulse, every shadow, every fracture. The Odyssey became a living instrument of balance, capable of steering the universe away from chaos. Yet even as patterns stabilized, hints of larger, unknown forces beyond comprehension shimmered at the edges of perception. The next phase of the struggle loomed, demanding ingenuity, courage, and an unbreakable unity of mind and purpose. The Odyssey faced the ultimate assault. Rifts converging, hostile energies weaving through space like predatory serpents. Talon projected calm and determination, threading psychic intent through every crew member. "We do this together, or not at all," he projected. Neural links pulsed with maximum output, minds intertwining with ship systems and rift lattice, preparing for a surge beyond anything previously attempted. Dr. Quinn initiated harmonic amplification, cascading stabilizers across all connected fractures. Energy arcs collided violently, and light fractured into impossible angles outside the ship. Talon projected unified intent, threading every pulse, every shadow, every memory into a coherent force. The Odyssey became a fulcrum, balancing existence on a knife edge, humanity's collective consciousness now the bridge between survival and annihilation. The Rift Core responded, pulsing with awareness and recognition. Talon felt its presence like a heartbeat, ancient and vast. "It knows us," he whispered. Dr. Quinn's instruments detected DNA harmonics entwined with cosmic energy, resonating with the first FTL jump. Humanity had wounded the universe, and now it was acknowledging its responsibility. Every psychic thread projected repair, understanding, and reconciliation into the lattice. Outside, light and energy folded into luminous bridges, connecting fractures across multiple dimensions. Talon extended consciousness fully into the rift, feeling the weight of history, choice, and consequence. The Odyssey pulsed with life, mind, and machine intertwined. Humanity's will was no longer passive. It had become an instrument of restoration, a bridge between fractured realities and a testament to collective courage and understanding. The rift stabilized partially, but hostile forces converged for one final strike. Talon projected focus, threading the crew's minds into a single harmonic network with alien presence and ship systems. Dr. Quinn's console glowed with cascading stabilizers. Every pulse, every thought, every intent projected across the lattice like threads in a tapestry, weaving together to resist destruction. Energy and light collided outside, reality bending under the force of combined consciousness. Shadows, echoes of alternate histories, and hostile energies tested every layer of human will. Talon projected unity and clarity, turning opposition into harmony. The Odyssey pulsed with brilliance, not as a weapon, but as a living conduit of intent. For the first time, humanity proved it could shape existence itself, negotiating with the universe through understanding, courage, and collective purpose. The rift pulsed gently, revealing the ultimate truth. Humanity's first FTL jump had not merely wounded space, it had awakened the universe's capacity to judge, teach, and respond. Talon projected understanding, acknowledging the mistake and committing to restoration. Dr. Quinn's console displayed harmonics weaving perfectly into the lattice, reflecting reconciliation and balance. The universe was conscious, aware of human intent, and now willing to integrate its role as caretaker. Light, energy, and consciousness flowed in perfect alignment, stabilizing remaining fractures. Talon projected clarity and gratitude across the neural network. The Odyssey floated at the nexus, a living testament to unity and responsibility. Humanity had learned that power without awareness could wound existence, but awareness, courage, and cooperation could heal even the deepest fractures. The rift shimmered, acknowledging understanding, and the universe responded with a resonance that echoed across all realities. The Odyssey emerged from the rift fully stabilized, crew and ship integrated with psychic harmonics, alien intelligence, and cosmic awareness. Talon projected a thought across the lattice. We endure, we learn, we protect. Dr. Quinn monitored residual energy patterns, confirming that fractures remained contained and fully stabilized. Humanity had survived, adapted, and grown. No longer just travelers, but stewards of existence itself. Stars shone in impossible geometries outside the ship, reflecting the unity of thought, memory, and will. Talon projected confidence, projecting their purpose into the infinite lattice, to observe, protect, and guide, ensuring that humanity's legacy would be one of restoration, courage, and responsibility. The Odyssey drifted forward, a living bridge between civilizations, consciousness, and reality itself. The universe pulsed in quiet approval, and humanity had become its guardian. Not conqueror, not destroyer, but custodian of the infinite. The end. Thank you for watching AstroMyths. If you enjoyed this story, smash that like button and subscribe for more epic sci-fi tales, cosmic mysteries, and mind-bending myths. And if you like this story, or have a myth, mystery, or galaxy you'd like us to explore, drop your ideas in the comments. We're always listening. Until next time, keep your eyes on the stars and your mind open to the unknown.